So as I was working with the clay, I decided to do like a tips and tricks type video. Rolling these little slabs, this clay is a little sticky. So I wanted to show you how to make a slab of clay. Always make it on a sheet of paper. Anything you make, eyes, whatever, make it on a sheet of paper because it's gonna be really easy to move them around. They're gonna get stuck to your cardboard or your table or your plate, whatever you're working on. So I'm gonna work on a piece of paper. So this is gonna be a small slab, only for teaching, but you're gonna have to make your slab about the size of a regular notebook paper, I mean pretty big. So I'm just gonna press it. Now if I try to lift it here, this is gonna rip really bad. See how it rips and sticks? So that's not what you wanna do. You wanna press it and you're pushing outwards with it. You wanna lift up the paper, you wanna put your hand on it, lift up the paper and rotate the paper, and you're gonna remove the paper from the back. And that's how you get your slabs out from when they get stuck. I wanna show you how to roll a slab. So there was one way. Smooth it out, lift, smooth it out again, lift, smooth it out again. And notice I'm making it grow each time. The reason I'm flipping it over is to get rid of my fingerprints, and I end up with a smooth surface. So that's one way to do it. And you just kept flipping and pressing into it, flipping and pressing it until it gets as big as you want. Try not to make it too thin. If it ends up you didn't have enough clay, just grab more clay and start over because it doesn't take long. It's no big deal. So here's another way to do it. I'm gonna put just a little ball of clay there. If you have a rolling pin at home or in school, that works really well. I don't have one, so I'm gonna just put 2 pencils down. And if you have a rolling pin, you just roll the rolling pin over, and then when it hovers over the 2 pencils, you know that you have an even surface. Like it's the same thickness on the front and the back, the sides, because you're rolling on the pencils. I just have this really big highlighter at home, so I'm using it as a rolling pin. And I'm balancing on my pencils so that I know I have an even thickness slab. And of course, it's going to be a lot bigger, so you probably can't use a highlighter. You need something bigger. Just anything round you have works. Even another pencil works to roll these. So that's how you make a slab. If you have a rolling pin or a rolling pencil or a highlighter or anything to roll. Again, I'm going to lift it up with the paper so that it doesn't stick to my surface. Okay, so I'm going to take this off because I already made one. And this is very close to the other video that we had. And I'm using this tray. It's like a meat tray that I washed to carry mine. You can use a paper plate. You can use a piece of cardboard. You can use just anything you have around to carry your clay. But I like to carry it here after I get my nice design so I won't bend it. And again, I always leave it on a sheet of paper. Even if I went like this and separated it, I still put it back on a sheet of paper so that later on when it's drying, I can remove it very easily, because as it dries, it's going to get stuck to whatever you have. And I mean, it's going to get ruined. So please do it on a sheet of paper. This whole project will probably take about 3 or 4 sheets of notebook paper to help you keep going. So I did this, like you saw in the other video, I mentioned that I might want to put my indentions first. One thing that I want you to notice is that I'm putting my indentions not like that, but I'm actually digging kind of all the way in, almost to the bottom. I'm not ripping a hole, but I'm going almost to the bottom because as this clay dries, it shrinks a little, and all these indentions are going to start going away to a certain degree. So you want to indent into it where when they shrink, you can still see them. Now remember, we are going to paint this, so don't go with like tiny, tiny little stuff that later you won't be able to see. So I have this glue stick that I'd rather you make bigger pieces that you're going to be able to actually, you know, paint and work with. Okay, so that's just an example. I rolled this piece out here because I'm going a little bit Picasso style. And remember, you put water in the back, just one thin layer of water. You lay it down on your piece. The way to cut clay is I'm going to actually cut this off right here. I can't just press and drag because it's going to rip through the clay. I need to press very softly, little by little. So I'm going in and up like this. I'm going in and out like this. So I'm going to press very softly, and then I can take this piece off. Now, I should have measured before I stuck it on here because it's really hard to take pieces after they stick. And right here, I am going to, again, very softly. So that's my piece right there. I'm gonna add, like this is the left and the right of the face. That's the forehead. I made some eyes. Now when I made these, they were a little bit sticky, so I made everything I wanted and I let it sit on a piece of paper for about 4 or 5 minutes, so it's not even long. So I made an eye. Here's another eye, a little bit of water, then I'll stick it on where I would like my eye to be. I'm gonna make this one a little bit lower. I made all these little kind of pieces, and remember, a little bit of water and stick your pieces on. And I made a nose that I'm actually gonna rotate just because I feel like it. I have some lips that I made as well. You know what? Let me stop with the lips and show you something. Here's another little extra piece I had just in case. I love to cut this clay with just a gift card, an old gift card. It's better than cutting with a knife because when you cut with a knife, you kind of stretch it weird. Sometimes it breaks. If you grab one of these and just kind of, you know, press onto the clay, it cuts really, really nice. It cuts beautifully. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to cut it here because you press down and then you kind of just shimmy it a little bit. And you can get, you know, the shapes that you need. A second ago, I lifted this like this because I was confident, but I shouldn't have done that. I should have put it in my hand and lifted like that so I get my really nice piece. So there it is. I'm going to make it grow right on top. Remember, a little water. I keep saying that, so please don't forget. And you see how my piece is coming along? I have coils, which are just little rolls of clay. That this eye is going to be upside down and it's going to have different kind of like eyelashes. Remember, a little bit of water. Again, I keep saying that again and again. Please do not forget to add a little bit of water at the bottom of these. After you get your stuff going, you can start grabbing different marks and stamping into your piece. I love backs of markers because I have these. Here's a fork. You can use anything you want to add detail to these pieces. Remember to press in a little bit harder. Here's a binder clip, which I'm just going to add these beautiful designs to the end of it. And here's a paintbrush. I'm literally going to stab all the way through to get those really nice marks right there. The point is, you can use anything you want to design into these masks and create your stamping. All this I did is a stamping. Incising is the only different one I want to show you, is when you take something thin and you draw. Again, your drawing lines need to be deep or they will disappear. And you can draw just about anything you want. You can go curved, you can go whatever you want, but the point is to press and move and not drag. So as you can see, it goes by pretty fast. Mine went super fast because I had all my pieces pre-cut. So you just all right, I hope you enjoy making a mask.